Are we recording?
Oh, we're on live.
We are?
I think so because I have a little
Yep.
eyeball in my corner now.
Yep. And nobody's watching. And we have a little live deal.
Yeah, which probably means we should start the podcast.
I don't know if I don't know if it is recording though.
I think it is. Do you want me to see?
Well, no, I don't know if it's recording on my computer. That's what I'm not sure of.
Oh, on the air. You're in the broadcast.
There you go. So,
Okay, hold while we have technical difficulties if anyone is watching this eventually. Because this does go to our channel like after like this whole video.
yeah.
So
Is it
hold
recording?
please.
Did you is it recording? Did you get a notification on?
It says that we're on the air. So it's on YouTube now,
Okay.
I believe.
Nice. Well, let's see here. What do we got? Switch out of that. No, that's not what I want to do. What do I want to do? Yeah, yeah, we're live on there. Okay, so alrighty, so let's go ahead and start. Welcome to Take It
Go
Down a
for it.
Notch with. Let's try this again.
Sorry.
Oh no. Okay, now I need to stop that.
Over to you, Rob.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble. No, the it's playing twice. It's on the live stream. It's playing.
Oh, really?
And,
Like, can you hear it twice? Like,
yeah,
what's
I'm hearing it
happening?
twice, like 10 seconds late.
Oh, no.
I can't find it. I can't figure out where it's.
Okay, well, I'll continue with the window narration. Um, a bus just passed. The street's actually empty. There's no people on the street. The construction is still happening over there. It actually hasn't been like they're using tool. It's not that annoying. Occasionally,
There.
you'll hear them like yelling at each other. There's a man slowly walking in the rain. Or can we go back to our podcast now?
Yeah, there we go. Let's start this again.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take It Down a Notch with Rob.
And Lindsay Loke.
There you go. You got it right. You're learning. I'm learning.
I'm working
We're
on
all
it.
learning. We're all learning. How are you this morning? Or this afternoon?
Yeah, it is afternoon. I'm doing pretty good. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm getting breathed on
Did you just
heavily.
burp? Did you
No,
just burp?
no.
Okay.
I set down my
Okay,
coffee.
well, okay, so let's not keep them in suspense any longer.
Yes.
What new thing happened in the Lee family
I don't know. It's been pretty
this past
quiet around
weekend?
here.
Quiet. I don't think quiet is a way that you could at all describe your life right now.
Yeah. So we did a thing. We have a new dog. You can hear the new dog. Well, no, you hear the
You
old
should
dog.
show the new dog. You should have him come up on your lap because he's so small.
Yeah, he's a little lap puppy. Little lap
He thinks
puppy.
he is.
Doph.
Come on, Dover.
Come here, Doph. Come here, Doph. So.
We'll just add to the chaos that's already been happening.
And now there's a little Henry there. Doph, where's Henry? We switched dogs. Come here.
Uh-oh.
Come here. Yeah. And I paid now attention to one and not the other. So
This is horrible.
it's a bad thing.
Let chaos ensue.
All right, good boy, Henry. Go lay down. Go lay down.
There's
So,
definitely a lot of brotherly love going on over there.
oh my gosh, Henry, Henry is in heaven. He's in dog heaven.
Yeah,
He's actually really enjoying it. I'm not
good.
100% Jofer's enjoying it, but no, Jofer's enjoying it too. The um, it is pure craziness, pure craziness.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
so just we'll start out with mornings at the Lee household now. Um, it's insane. So the dogs do not sleep with us. No dogs in the bedroom. It's a strict law in the Jenny code of conduct. No dogs in the bedroom. So she's like, I want one room that has less dog hair than anywhere else. So
Less, not none, less.
because we carry in as much dog hair as the dogs do.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
less dog hair in the bedroom. So the dogs are not allowed in there. Dofer still doesn't understand this rule. He knows the rule, but he does not understand it. So he comes in and looks around, and we say, "No, you have to go out." And he goes and stands at the door. So no dogs in the bedroom. So you wake up in the morning, the door is closed, you get ready, and you finally come out, which probably in dog years is a decade. So Dofer is standing at the door waiting for you, and as soon as the door opens, the tail wagging starts. Now the tail wagging starts from the nose all the way to the butt, and he wiggles so much that the tail and body hits both walls in the hallway of the door. So
Oh,
it's
the
like a
picture
bass drum.
frames.
It's like a bass drum.
Oh
Bam,
my
bam, bam, bam,
gosh.
bam. Because the total butt wiggle from the neck to the tail.
Oh my gosh.
And then once you step through the threshold of the door, then the jumping and mouthing starts. So you're getting mouthed and slightly jumped on. He's getting better about the jumping on. The mouthing, we have a long ways to go. And so
Oh
like
gosh.
so restrained jumping, but a lot of body contact because he's like all over you. Because he's got to be there and hopping and all this. This
Well,
is
of
all while you're
course.
still in the hallway. You have not made it to the desk at the end of the hallway where the wine and stuff is. No, you're right there.
Yeah.
So it's that's it. And the first day Henry was involved in this because he had to be. Now Henry's like, I'm not. Oh, that's too much. First thing in the morning. So, and then,
Oh my
and,
gosh.
and then it's like full body contact the whole way out into the kitchen. And usually about the time you get to the desk, the barking starts. He never barks except for first thing in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, he's not a barker,
That's kind of weird.
but in the morning we have to bark, and he kind of has like a
Right.
horse bark. Like not like a horse voice, not like a horse animal. 'Cause
Okay.
it's not big and it's not quite as big a bold as Henry's, but it's kind of
Right.
that's Henry's bark.
That's Henry's.
Yeah, the yeah, Dofer's bark is more kind of like his throat's a little hoarse, so it's
Right.
a little squeaky, and
Oh.
but still loud. I mean, he's a big dog,
Oh
big
yeah.
yeah, and that goes on until I can force them force, and that usually at that point you're in the kitchen, and now Henry has come in, and like, well, now I'm not getting as much. You are stealing my attention, so he has to be involved, and then you try to recover your toes because they're all getting stepped on and jumped on, and you get them
Oh
outside.
no.
Moment, just get out. Please be outside.
Just leave.
This is all before coffee happens. Or anything. This is like first thing in the morning.
I asked Mama how the first like night went, and she said, "I don't know, but Dad said they were too much in the morning."
I think I'm gonna have to have them
Oh.
start sleeping downstairs because I'm not sure I can take this first thing in the morning. It's rough. It's like yeah, my toes are like just getting stomped on, and
Oh my gosh.
oh man, it's just. Yeah, and loud. Yeah, yeah. Because
Has mom started complaining about it yet?
no, no.
Mom hates getting woken up in the morning. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah,
She
and
used to
getting up.
get when we had Nova and Henry, she got upset at me. She's like, "You're feeding the dogs too early in the morning. You need to wait until a reasonable time to feed them." Now, this was like when I was in school and it was like 6:37. She's like, "This is too early." And so this is she's gonna get upset. We're talking about her on the podcast again. And then I was like, okay, fine. If that's what you want, I will not feed them in the morning. Like I will wait. And I'll feed them when you're awake. And then she got upset at me because the dogs were so loud. Because specifically when Nova was alive, she would like flip over the bowl and like throw it across the hallway if you didn't feed her on time. And so they were, and also like Henry and Nova, like they were just, and they would fight to get attention. It'd be like the only time where they would really fight, like towards like the end,
Yeah,
would be the only time when they'd really fight is right around time for food because that's how they get attention. Then we'd be like, oh, it's about time to be fed anyways. We'll just go ahead and go feed them. So we totally rewarded the system. So without realizing it. So this is how they got fed. And so it was a mess. So they were super loud.
yeah.
And mom was like, you didn't feed the dogs. So they were super loud. They woke me up. And I'm like, what do you want? So like this has always been a problem.
So
So
the first time that you left, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I'm like, so why don't we feed them downstairs? That's when we started feeding them. Now we feed them down by the apartment door, so it's
yeah.
much quieter. Because I'm like, what? What is the why? Because it's a metal bowl. What we were using a metal bowl, so you dump the dog food into the metal bowl. It's like just like
Yeah.
symbols,
Well,
and
and
we were feeding them
also
right outside of our bedroom door,
oh, yeah. No, I totally get it.
like
And
like
also, like,
like six
specifically
feet from the
Nova, like,
door.
she had to have her, like, they have a maze bowl, and so you have to, like, sprinkle that in. It's not like it's like, you
Mhm.
just, like, chunk it in. You,
Yeah,
like, sprinkle so it does make a little bit of noise, and yeah.
yeah.
No, it's definitely
So I have new
a little
bowls
busy.
coming. I have new bowls coming today.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
like a cage. It's like a so it's a bowl with a top on it that has a design in it. So all the food's underneath, I think.
I've been kind of wanting to get some sort of interactive thing for Henry
Yeah.
for I looked at one, I can't remember what it was, but I think it was like where you had like a button and
Oh,
that button would press it and then
I,
you could put it like across the house
yeah,
and so it just released like a little bit of food then they'd have to walk across the like wherever you put it. Like
yeah.
you could put it across the house. You put it like across the room. They'd have to walk across the room, press
Oh,
the button
yeah,
and
the
then there'd be
remote.
more food. And so like they'd have to walk like over a mile. Like you could get them to walk over a mile just in the house just for breakfast. And I was like, this is a fantastic idea.
I
Let's do this. But
almost
it was
got
like
one that had like
$70.
10 different little dividers in it, and
There's
had
so
to
many
you
now.
had to be able to. The dog would push a button or move a thing or whatever, and would have to. I was kind of afraid Henry would eat it.
That's what I've
Just
been
like
worried about. Like I
why
feel like
worry
Henry
about
would
the
just like pick it
why
up and
worry
like
about the
har
why worry about the kibble? Just let's just eat the whole thing, and then we'll get the kibble eventually.
because that's
But
what he might do.
I don't know. So we're gonna see how this. We're gonna see how this. I've got two of them because I could not find the other maze bowl for Dofer, and
Well, and when I got like a bigger maze bowl for Henry, it was big. And
yeah,
so like the pathways were also bigger. And I
yeah,
was like, this is actually easier. It should be a bigger bowl and smaller, I think.
yeah.
Because I'm like,
So Henry's using the maze bowl, and I did what you suggested. So we Nova had another bowl that the metal bowl went inside of a rubber silicone holder to make it harder to flip it over. So I do that. I put a cup inside, and then I put a half cup outside for Dofer.
and it yeah, it was also because she insisted that you had like 5 pieces of kibble outside the bowl. And if there was not 5 pieces of kibble or more, like but at least it had to be like a little handful um, of kibble. If it was not outside of her bowl, she would not eat.
Yeah,
It was like she refused because
she's
she would be a dog who'd be like, nope, I don't need breakfast today. I'm gonna like beg for it for an hour, but once you give it to me, nah. So I partially blame Jackson because he would feed her by hand. And then she would pretend like she wouldn't know how to eat after that and be like, oh, I have to eat out of a bowl. So
Terrible, terrible.
terrible.
So yeah, it's good. The other crazy. This is the crazy thing that's happened. There's lots of just insanity, but crazy thing is so Henry is a fetch dog, loves to go fetch things, and so when he's in the house, he brings you an item, a ball or whatever his toy is, and then you have to get rid of that, drop it on the ground or throw it or whatever. Right? This is something Lindsay's very familiar with because this is anybody that's been to the house for more than 20 minutes is familiar with this because you get this slobbery thing on your lap.
Yeah.
So comes
Slobbery.
gets it, and then you push it off or you tell him to get it or whatever. And this is the game that you have to play if you're at the Lee house.
Yes.
So Dofer, they don't compete for toys. It's not there's no fighting over the toys. Henry is completely fine with Dofer having the toys,
Which
and
is interesting.
just was just shocking. I was really thinking I was gonna have to put all the toys away for a while, or maybe throw away all the current toys and get all new toys, so that
Yeah, me too.
we wouldn't have possession. I was a little nervous about this, but there's none of that. None of that. Henry's not. There's a toy on the ground. Doph goes and grabs it. Henry looks and goes, "Oh, he's got a toy. No big deal." So, but this is like the most bizarre thing. And I don't know if I can describe it properly, but if Henry puts the ball on your lap and you push it off your lap and Dofer's on that side and Dofer picks it up, puts it in his mouth, the toy no longer exists. Except for not like not no longer exists, has now vanished into the ether. And Henry does not have any has no conscious knowledge that there's an inside the Dofer's mouth. So now the toy is gone. And he keeps looking for it.
No,
No, like
Henry.
like he will make you get up off the chair, and so he can look underneath you. He looks all around it. He'll
Because
walk and
Henry,
push.
guys, if
He'll,
you have not experienced playing this game with Henry, he is so persistent. If he wants a toy, he will bark, scream, cry,
yeah,
paw with his nose. He will get you out of the chair. He's 100-pound dog. He will get you out of your chair. Like he will
he
do everything in his power
he
to
has
find
no
a
knowledge
toy.
that there's an inside the Dofer's
There's a
mouth.
Dofer. There's a Dofer. They're
Yeah,
fighting behind you.
yeah. So it's yeah.
Arr, arr.
Okay, out. Everybody out. Everybody out.
Podcast puppies.
Everybody out. Come on, go.
They're such good puppies. Such good boys.
So it's just bizarre. It is the most bizarre thing because
That's going to be a problem.
so yeah. So last night Dofer was sitting on my lap, and Henry would put the ball on my lap. Dofer would pick it up, put it in his mouth, and then Henry would be like, "Where'd the ball go? Where's the ball? Where's the ball?" And he'd be like looking around. He'd look on the floor. He'd go behind me. He'd look all around the couch, and I'd have to take it out of Dofer's mouth and throw it, and then he would bring it back, put it on the lap. And if I didn't get to it before Dofer got to it, Dofer would pick it up, put it on his mouth, and chew on it.
Dofer's totally in on this joke.
Oh, Dofer
He knows
totally,
what's going on.
he totally, totally is.
He's
So
totally just pulling his leg.
now said ball is underneath my desk. There we go.
Oh, that's a lovely game.
Yeah. All right. So hold
Oh,
on,
sorry.
just a quick moment. We're going to.
Can you stop the live?
Well, no, I'm going to. How do I do this? Oh, I just tipped. There you go. Now you're the only one on the screen.
Okay, there we go. Hi, people. Um, this is a little bit of a messy podcast. It's our first time being on live on YouTube, trying to figure this all out. So have patience with us. I think we have to have Dad tell the story of how he got Dofer, because this was quite a spontaneous thing. So hopefully he will tell us. Okay, so Dad, from your point of view, tell us how you guys
Yes.
got Dofer.
Oh, I muted you. Go ahead.
Oh, how did you guys get Dofer?
So, where my point of view? Alrighty. So, about a week in, well, just over a week ago, Robbie um, put on the family group chat a picture of Dofer off of Facebook, and I was doing other things, and I don't, I don't, I don't pay great attention to all of the messenger things. I'm trying to do better, but I have a tendency just to like do a quick look. Okay, I've got that information, and go on. Well, I don't always get all the information, and I often make up who sent the information. Um, so I thought that Jenny had sent this picture. She's always sending big pictures of dogs. I knew it was in the family chat, but and I'm like, oh, I like that was a weird look.
Sorry,
Was that you?
it's there was a truck that just passed with cars all over it, and you just don't see you don't see big trucks like that,
Yeah.
and it was pretty loud. So
So
sorry, continue.
so I saw this. I'm like, it. Most of these dog pictures don't strike with me. They just it's like, oh, they're cute dogs, but it's like, oh, I saw this dog and I was like, eyebrows went up. Like, I like that dog. That's a me dog. And
Yeah,
so I do a quick, not right then. I think I waited a little bit. I put in a quick,
because it was in the middle of another conversation at the
yeah,
point where Dad sent a text saying, "I like that dog." Period. Sent.
yeah, like
Middle of another conversation,
yeah, and uh, and then I get
and
it, and I see a message from Robbie. It's like, oh, I didn't mean to send that to the group chat or something like that. And then that's when I realized, oh, Robbie, this is Robbie sent this dog. Robbie wants this dog, which I don't think is a great idea. It's a big dog, and they're just getting settled in their apartment. They have no space for a dog. They have no outdoor space, so you'd have to walk it every time. Just a lot, just a lot, and it would be wonderful if they had a dog. But um, oh, I'm not back on screen. Hold on. There we go. I,
really, you had me on screen that whole time.
the whole time you're coughing with your mute on.
Trying to be nice, trying to be on mute.
You are mute, so nobody could hear you coughing. But
That
we,
they could just see me. That's so great. Thanks, Dad.
sorry,
It's fine. Sorry,
we have to
guys.
figure out so you can see what's actually on screen. Um, where was I? Oh, so anyway, and he's like, I'm going to look at the dog on this weekend. I'm making an appointment. I'm going to go see the dog. And I'm like, okay, great. And he's like, you guys want to go with? And I'm busy on Saturday mornings and um, all this stuff. So I'm like, no, I don't have time for that. And but Jenny's going, and then so they had the appointment set up for Saturday. Um, and I thought it was right after what at the end of when I was doing yoga. Um, and then I find out it's not till 3 o'clock. And then Jenny's like, so Robbie thinks we should probably get this dog, right? And I'm like, no, we did not know that. And she's like, I'm not going to get a dog without you. You have to make the decision. She wants the decision has to be on me. If this is a horrible decision, it has to be my horrible
Yeah.
decision. Um, so anyway, so we go, and it's one of those things. I knew I wanted this dog before we met this dog, and then we meet the dog, and it's like, yeah, this is my dog. So we're going through and meet the dog, and the dog is like crazily misbehaved, just running and jumping and yanking on the leash, and My only misgiving was it's like they had said it's not a leash dog, and I'm thinking that to me meant if you tried to put a leash on it, it freaked out. No, it just put a leash on it, and it's like no, or it's like I don't acknowledge this as a limitation to me, and just like we'll go and 6 feet of leash is done, and just keeps going, and it rips your arm out of
Yeah.
socket, that kind of a thing. So I'm like, okay, well that
Literally.
yeah, we'll get to that. So I'm like, okay, that's doable. Jumping up on you and all this stuff. Didn't wasn't real mouthy, little mouthy at the park where we met, but um,
Right.
yeah, it's not well behaved.
No.
Um, so anyway, we talk about it, and Robbie's like, "Oh, I think we need to." We need to talk to Annie about it and see how Jackson likes him. And she's like, and the owner's like, we don't have to do this for a couple weeks. So if you want to take a few days to think about it and everything, and he's kind of like hemming and hawing over the whole thing. And so I'm like, well, we're kind of thinking about doing this. And Robbie's like, it's perfectly fine if you want Dofer that. Or, so at that point, the dog's name was what was it?
Dover.
Dover.
Dover?
Dover, like Dover, Delaware, was named after
Yeah,
Dover,
that's what
Delaware, or the Dover International Speedway, because the original owners are NASCAR fans, and so they were
mm.
watching NASCAR when they were trying to figure a name, and Dover came up. I think he's a Dof. So we've
Yeah.
changed it. We've
He
changed it. He seems to be fine with it. He's definitely a Dof. So
yeah.
he's got kind of stoner eyes. The eyelids are kind of down a little bit, and kind of looks like he's a little.
He looks like a dof
He's
too. Like
he's
he
a dof.
has like a dof vibe. He just is such a dofer. A dof.
It just fits.
Dofer.
It just fits him really well. I don't know what the
Yeah,
prior
and it's close enough that like I don't think he notices the difference at all.
no, but I right away was like he's Dof. Jenny's like you're saying Dof like DOF and not DOV. I'm like yeah, he's a Dof. So 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 he's Dof, and his nickname is Dof. His real name is Dofer, DOF.
Right.
But so if he's in trouble, it's Dofer. Um. Anyway, we decided to take him, and he's just been was wonderful. And so, as you guys all know, we have a Henry, and Henry is a lot. And Henry is not amenable to other dogs.
No.
No. Well, we had him. We went to boot camp, and he's better. He's better, but I hadn't really like had another dog in the house besides Nova.
Right.
Um, besides a few incidents where it didn't go well.
Bad things happen.
Didn't go bad. Didn't go horribly wrong, but it was a little rough.
No.
Um, ask Justin and Carol about that one, but the
I forgot about that.
yeah. So anyway, so we go, and I'm like, I've thought this through and everything because I knew I was bringing the dog home, so I had a kind of a plan. So we brought Henry into the backyard. I talked to Henry and get him all kind of calmed down, and Dover and Jenny go out to the street, go potty, and come back in. And we're at the in the inside yard, and there's the fence, and Dofer and Jenny are coming up, and Henry starts to bark, and Dofer is very dog friendly. He, he wants to be friends to everybody, especially
Yeah.
other dogs is good, and toddlers is irresistible. He
Oh,
loves
really?
he loves little kids. Like when we're
Really?
walking and there's a little kid, it's like I'm going to go see that little kid. We're going to go talk. I'm like, to go attack.
Which is a little
I can
scary
go.
because like you have Henry.
Well, no, well, this is. I've only taken Henry out once with the two of them. So, but he really
Right.
wants
No.
to go. So, anyway, so dog starts barking. Dofer sees Henry, or Dofer just like takes off towards the fence, full go. Well, he's got 6 feet of leash. So I'm seeing this, and Henry starts to go. I see the leash getting tight. I see Jenny's arm coming up. Jenny starts to run. Well, this may be a shocker to everybody, but Dofer can run faster than Jenny can. And so when
No.
when the leash is straight and the arm is straight, there's still momentum
There's
going, and
nowhere else to go.
he drives Jenny head shoulder first into the ground. Feet are in the air, face hits the ground, shoulder hits the ground. I'm on one side of the fence with Henry. She is on the other side of the fence with Dofer, still with the leash wrapped around her wrist, which is not pro tip. Do not lock the leash around your wrist, because if you need to get away from your dog for any number of reasons, you can't. Uh, she's laying there. Dofer's still trying to get away and do all the dog things, and her arm is all over the place. I'm
Oh.
like, let go, get the leash, let go of the leash, get the leash out. Very happy that when her face comes up out of the dirt, it's not all bloody, because who knows what's
She
underneath the
hit
grass.
hard, yeah.
Yeah, who knows what's
Right.
underneath the grass? There's rocks and things in the grass, and
Yeah.
you know. But she didn't hit a big rock. She didn't hit the big post holding up the deck, which she was very close to coming
Oh,
coming towards. It was bad, and I couldn't get to her because I'm on the other side of
right.
the fence. I got to go to the gate. I'm worried about if I open the gate, the dogs will interact, or if I'm on the other side of the fence. It's only a 4-foot fence. Henry doesn't know he could get over that fence, but he could get over the fence if
Oh,
he wanted to.
he yeah, if he wanted to, and I think he knows that if he wanted to, he could do it.
Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, and there's an invisible fence
But
on the
there's
other
never
side.
been a reason really.
Yeah, there's the invisible fence. So we're not the fence is just
Right.
kind of an impingement to
Yeah.
the dog movement. It's not really meant to. It's not meant to hold the dog in at all costs type of thing. So yeah, she was okay, and anyway, so she gets up and brushes herself off, and we do some more meeting. What are we seeing?
There's a very wet, very, very wet golden retriever, and the bakery doesn't allow dogs. And so they just walked up to like the entry.
Mm-hmm.
She took off the leash, she went inside, and that golden retriever is just standing there waiting. Oh,
Oh,
now he's walking off a little bit. He's gonna go say hi to the old gentleman. He's crossing the street without the old woman, without the woman. He is leaving. He is crossing the street. He has left. Oh, I'm sorry. This is now he's sniffing a bush. I am so excited to see this lady's reaction. Oh, he's like looking. Oh yeah, she's looking around. She's like, "What are you doing?" Oh, oh, oh. There he is. He's just walking away now too. He's like, oh, and she doesn't. She's not putting back on the leash. She's just gonna continue walking too. People in France with their dogs, leashes are like not a need. Like, and most of these dogs are really well trained and will just like chill or like go back to their owner, and like they don't like go up to people and like you know most of the time they're just like really great. That's the first time I've seen a dog just like walk across the street. But
it
like
sounds
but
like a
he's
busy
like really
street
chill.
too.
It is. Yeah, it's he didn't walk across the busy part of it. He walked across the non-busy. So like there wasn't any cars around. But like I think part of it is that in France, you don't really go up to other people's dogs and like pet them. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they're like, "Ooh, strangers, like I should go." Oh, now she has him by the collar. I guess he was not obeying. Anyways, they're out of sight now. But like you don't go up to people's dog and like, "Oh, you have a cute dog. Can I pet your dog?" That doesn't happen here. So I don't think they're like used to going up to strangers.
Hmm.
So I did get a pet, the neighbor dog though.
Oh yeah, what kind of dog is it?
I don't know exactly. It's a big dog,
Big?
like almost as big as Henry,
Oh wow.
kind of like a big sized dog, maybe smaller, but
Mm-hmm.
like he's big or she's big. I think her name's Lula or something like that.
Okay.
Um, but it's like a not Saint Bernard, but like a big fuzzy one.
Okay.
But they kind of scared me because I was leaving my apartment, my back was turned,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden they came up behind me and she was like ready to like make a friend. So she went immediately like nose up to my bag and was like sniffing my purse. I did not have traits at that moment. I was actually going out to go buy groceries and buy traits.
Ah.
Um, and we left them we made cookies for both. We have two different neighbors on each side, and we
Hmm.
made cookies and like left a little note, and we gave the dog a toy. Um, and now we have treats. So I have treats next to the door and in my purse. I will now be prepared.
There you
I Hugo and I really want to make friends with this dog. Um, yeah. And but the other neighbor we figured out has a cat. And
go. Oh.
so we put in the note like both of our phone numbers,
Hmm.
and the other neighbor texted us today.
Oh, nice.
So because I thought that would just kind of be like a good neighborly thing to do, if they needed
Yeah.
anything.
Well, and it's
Um,
it's good if something happened or whatever, or
yeah,
if there was like, I don't know, some reason that you need to contact your neighbor. It's
yeah,
nice to be able to like reach out and go, hey, there's water running out from underneath your door, or something crazy,
yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of thing. So
exactly.
the anyway, um, so anyway, I don't. Oh, so we're
Back to the story. Sorry, yeah.
get back to this.
Mom fell.
So she gets up and we manage to, um, they sniff each other through the the fence and all that stuff, and it's not too. Henry's very excited, but he's not being aggressive, and so then we go outside the fence, and kind of forgot because we have the invisible fence, and Dofer was right on the line for the invisible fence, so
Oh,
which was good. So Henry couldn't get like all the way up on him,
okay, good.
and then kind of sniff, and then if Dofer backed up, Henry couldn't go any farther, so
Right.
it was perfect. And then I realized that's what was going on, and then we went ahead and brought them both into the yard, and they they just played, and yeah, went really well.
Wow.
And there wasn't any conflict. And then Jenny left to do something. Can't remember what, but she went and did something. I was alone with the dogs, and then the dogs decided to rough, and Henry decided to get see how tough Dofer really was. So they started rough, and not violent. It kind of looked violent, but it wasn't violent. And
They sound violent
yeah,
sometimes.
well,
Henry gets a snarl.
he gets a big deep roar, 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 in,
Yeah,
but he'll do that with me. Like if I play rough with him, he gets roar, roar, roar,
yeah. But
he's
like to a stranger, it would sound bad, but it's
yeah, it
not.
would be no, and I'd get a little worried. And I could put my hand in the mix, and Henry knew exactly what he was doing, and he would go and and mouth Dofer in a different spot, and there was no biting down or anything, and Dofer never squealed or pulled back or and
Yeah.
so yeah it yeah so for the first night Dover's head was completely soaked with Henry slobber. So Henry 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 goes for the neck, likes being at the neck and ears, and Dofer likes to go for the chest and feet. And Henry hates having his feet messed with, so it's like
Hates it. He
really
will let me touch his feet, but he will not let dad touch his feet. Unless like dad's like training him like and like messing with him and he knows he'll get in trouble.
oh yeah,
But like he'll let me if like most of the time he will not get upset if I mess with his feet.
well, he's
Um
not like
at
me.
all. But he will get mad at dad
Yeah,
or anyone else.
he
Those
did
will not even allow it at all.
like does that smiley baring teeth look and like
It's like
I absolutely want to bite you so bad right now, but he knows he knows that's not a good idea. That will not end well for Henry if he decides to be
no.
with me. So, um, but yeah, so now they've kind of calmed down. They've kind of figured out their their uh, their limitations, and Dofer will go and start things with him, and then he'll come over and sit on my lap like base. Like he'll go like start it, and then he'll come over and like sit on my lap or sit underneath my legs if I'm sitting in the chair that he can't be on. He'll like come up, like lay down underneath my legs. Like I'm safe now. You can't get me. It's really it's a lot. And then
Such siblings.
they go they go and then they just like collapse. They're like, oh my gosh, we're exhausted, and they just like pop
Yeah,
down. So
mom sent us a picture yesterday where it was like both dogs in the same exact like collapse position, but like one up here and like one over here in the same room, but like same they look like the same dog. It was like
yeah, they were in the
and
exact same
she's
pose.
like playing all morning and they both just collapsed. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, it's been fun. So um, and then yesterday, um, I was kind of anxious to see how they would do in the back seat of the truck. Um, the truck, my truck is like the row and a half. It's the little seat in the back, so it's not the big king cab with the big doors in the back. So it's kind of tight back there for one dog. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I wonder how this will go if we try to do both dogs. So I needed to get a haircut yesterday, which obviously did not happen. But
I was gonna say.
went to get a haircut, and I'm like, well, we'll throw the both dogs in there, and if they don't, I didn't have an appointment, obviously, and I'm like, well, if this is not going well, we'll just turn around and come back home.
Yeah.
And it went fine, and went down and went to get a haircut, and they were booked. No haircuts for the rest of the day. So we decided to go, and we went on a walk at Lake Ty, and
Crazy man with a death wish.
so yesterday was drizzly and rainy here, so the park was not at peak busyness.
Good.
There were people there, but it went fine. It's a lot. I'd never walked two big dogs like that. Oh, you know,
Because they're both
yeah,
like, I mean, I know Henry's like 115. What do you
yeah,
think Dofer is? Like about 110?
about 100, but I'm guessing
Oh,
100 in that 100-pound range. It's not
okay.
he's not as dense. He's almost as big, but he's not as dense as Henry. So,
Right.
um, but yeah. So we walked all the way around Lake Ty, and there was
Wow.
one other dog that Henry barked at, but didn't lunge or anything, just barked. So we went off to the side and let the dog go by.
Was
And
there any toddlers for Dofer?
there were there were some toddlers. We came around one, and there was a toddler on a bicycle, like a little tiny
Oh,
bicycle, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go over here. Dofer's like, I want to go lick that little person, but it went fine. It went fine.
he came from a family with a toddler,
Yeah, yeah,
so that's probably why.
yeah. He
He may be
definitely
a little homesick.
definitely liking the little kids. So
Oh, that's cute.
yeah, yeah. So and Dofer's not aggressive at all. There's not
No,
an aggressive bone in his body. So he's just a big love. But so
he's a
yeah,
big
that
dope.
he's a big doof. He's a big doof. So yeah, he's fun. He's the kind of dog that you could just like take everywhere and just like he's coming into your house and it'll be fine. And he won't be he won't be put off by your dog. But whether your dog will like him or not, that's another question. But
Yeah.
the but yeah, he's definitely the kind of dog that you could go. But he needs some training because he does not understand that there are limits to what he should be able to do. So
Right.
taking him to Home Depot would be an experience. It would be all about you'd have to be on Dover the whole time. So a
Why
lot of
Home
people
Depot?
because Home Depot and Lowe's it's about half dogs. There's more dogs go there than PetSmart. It's I don't know
Really?
their dogs at the hardware store. I don't know. I think it's because maybe the aisles are big. I don't know. People take their
Well, and I
dogs.
think it's probably because it's allowed. Because most you can't take dogs to a grocery store,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
probably just because it's allowed.
yeah. And there was a while because there was like some incidents where dogs had troubles in stores. So all the stores were like, no dogs unless service dogs and all that. And I've noticed those signs have gone away. And there's even a few of them that are like put up signs like your dog is welcome, kind of thing at these stores. So I don't know. People take their
2023, everybody's welcome everywhere.
Yeah, you can't discriminate. So,
No,
yep, that's the
it's
thing.
dogs.
So, what's going on in the Lindsay life here?
Well, we are moved in ish. Like all of our stuff is moved in. Oh my gosh, our across the street neighbor, the husband has come out. I can actually see him and not just his shadow. Sorry, I'm again up against the window, which means Lindsay is people watching and not really podcasting. I've only seen the wife, not the husband. So it's a little odd. But anyways, now he's looking at me, so now I feel very awkward. Probably because I'm talking to my computer up against my window and looking at him. Anyways, that's what's going on.
uh,
Anyways,
you're
we have an apartment.
yeah,
I have a plant that Hugo got me. And we're moved in. We still need some things like a bed frame, like a couch. We have a table, which is nice. We weren't sure we were gonna have a table.
nice.
So yeah, but we all of our stuff is actually unpacked. We were actually able to unpack everything on the weekend, which we were kind of surprised by. I kind of thought it would take us a little while to get
Mhm.
everything properly organized, but I did forget that even though it felt like we had a lot of stuff, realistically we did not have that much stuff. So yeah,
But
it was pretty easy.
you had most of your stuff like in the bedroom of your of the little K house, right?
Yeah, we had everything, almost basically everything. That and like in the garage for the other like furniture pieces that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And we also already the week before we brought over because we've thrifted a lot of the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came here last week to clean, we brought over almost all of the dishes.
Oh, nice.
Um, so I could go ahead and start working cleaning them. So we didn't even have to worry about that really. We did have to organize the kitchen, but because we don't have that much stuff and it's a pretty small kitchen, it's not like that took long either. So it's raining pretty hard. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but um,
That's
we
okay.
have had a lot of off and on rain here and like storms, but like for 5 minutes, and then it'll be sunny, and then it'll rain, and then it'll be sunny, and then it'll be a storm, and then it'll be sunny, and then it'll be a storm, and then it'll be cloudy. And
Has it cooled down a little bit?
yeah, a little
Like,
bit.
a lot.
Definitely. Well, yeah,
Cool.
it's definitely cooled down a lot compared to last week because our last week rain, it was pretty warm here while it was raining, which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of unusual for this area for it to be like warm and rainy.
Mm-hmm.
From what I heard, I'm not sure how unusual though. But it was like in like the 60s, maybe 65 and raining.
Nice.
So it wasn't like it was like 80 and raining. It was just
Nice.
kind of warm.
So,
Um,
and
yeah,
you're on the living room level, right?
yeah,
Not the
yeah.
kitchen level, but you have your coffee maker in the living room.
Yeah, I have a coffee maker on that side, that this side.
That side. There you go.
Sorry, I'm looking at like the mirrored and I'm like, wait a second, what? Like, that's not a coffee maker. But yeah, we have like a little drink station set up.
Nice.
We have chairs set up for like
So
our little reading
the
corner.
bathroom is on that level or on the first level?
It's right
That's
there,
the
back
bathroom.
there.
Okay, so you have water to be able to fill up the coffee maker without having to go
Yes.
downstairs. Okay, that makes sense. And then the
Yes.
loft that
Right?
we can kind of see above your head, that's the bedroom.
That would be the bedroom, yes.
Nice. How's that?
Yeah.
How's that working out with the bed and stuff in there? Can you walk around and not bang your head on?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right now it's a really nice space. I'm kind of worried about getting a bed frame. If we're not careful, it'll make it so we're like when we sit up, like our head will bang in, at
No,
least on one side. Um, we
but
just have to be
you just
careful
have a
not to get like a bed
mat
frame
on the
that's
floor.
too high. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We also only have like one blanket. We don't have our we have a duvet, but our duvet cover hasn't come in yet. Um, the shipping's taking really long, and I wanted to make sure we got like a pretty duvet cover and not something boring. And so
Right.
I ordered it on Amazon and it's just taking forever. So we probably won't have that till like next week. So
Cool.
luckily it hasn't been that cold, so we're okay. But it's very dorm room esque, a
Nice.
little bit. So, but yeah, everything's coming together.
And you added a hutch type thing to the kitchen, so you have a little more kitchen space.
Yes, that's been like my favorite thing in the apartment so far is having that hutch. Just because it's nice to have like extra space
Mm-hmm.
and be like, oh, I have extra space that I can play with here. And like, I was really stressed with this apartment. There's no like there's four little cupboards in the kitchen. Other than that, there's no closet, there's no cupboard, nothing in any of the other spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really stressed about moving in and having nowhere to like put stuff,
So where
nowhere
are
to
the
organize
clothing
things.
racks and all that stuff? Where are your
They're in the living room. I
they're
can
in that
actually,
and
I
they're in the
could
room.
turn the computer. This might add to the chaos.
Oh, we got church bells.
Yeah, they're normally about a minute off. At noon, they go off at 12:04. Not 12. I don't know exactly why. This
Oh,
is
okay.
where all the clothing racks are. This is our
Nice,
closet.
nice.
So back there, we're planning in that corner, like to have like a little, um, what's the word, dresser.
Okay.
And then we're planning on having. I'm just gonna do this because I'm gonna make more noise if I do anything else. Then we're planning on having a couch kind of where I'm sitting actually. And then we're looking for a bookshelf, and that bookshelf will either go up here, but I kind of feel like up here is a little crowded.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll probably put it downstairs. And we have a lot of wall space downstairs, so it'll probably be good. But we have a really good space. It feels really big because of the
Mm-hmm.
three separate areas. When in reality it's not that big. So
Nice.
yeah, we're really loving it so far.
Way fun. Well, I like your plant.
It's a
Yeah,
monstera,
looks very big.
right? I think
Looks
so.
big.
Once we get so we have a big window that's technically like doors
Mm-hmm.
um, that go onto like a really small balcony,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I've totally blanked. Okay, so in France and actually in a lot of Europe, they have basically not blinds, shutters, basically metal shutters
Mm-hmm.
that you always have down at night or whenever you want, and they're blackout and all this. And sorry, the neighbors started repairing their window right now. Anyway, so um there's like and you like roll them down and you roll them up and all this and that. So the ones for downstairs are broken, and they are broken to the point where they stay down.
Mm-hmm.
And we aren't getting them fixed for another week. And most likely it won't actually get fixed on that day. They'll just have to order parts and then come back another day. But it's really sad because we also have a few lights that are out downstairs. So the main floor is a little sad and a little dark, especially compared to this floor, which has two skylights, one like upstairs in the loft area and one just right above me. And
Mm-hmm.
then also this window, which is kind of low and small, but it lets in so much light. So we have so much light that we don't really have to turn on the lights on this floor at all until the sun sets. And
Right.
so, especially since the sun sets in front of us. So, even though it's like rainy and super cloudy, I get a ton of light, which
Nice.
I love. But it's kind of hard to have the main floor not have any light, especially when we're expecting it to have light. And that's where we're like cooking and stuff. So, I think once we have light in that room and I get it a little bit more decorated,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's the bigger space. It has like a huge white wall that has nothing on it. Um, so it's a little cold. Um, so I think once we have the window open, I'll start moving the plants down there.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, anyways, that's the apartment update.
Nice.
So,
Alrighty. Well, I think we need to probably, unless you got
yeah,
more things, wrap this up.
no,
Thank
I think
you.
so.
Let's see. I'll bring myself back in here. There we go. Lindsay can't tell what the YouTube is seeing,
No
so
idea what's going on.
she was on the she was
No.
on the single. Now we have the double. But thanks for joining us. If you're on the YouTubes, then click subscribe and like, and we're actually
Good job,
watching.
Dad.
We're actually watching the comments on there. So if you comment, we'll try to comment back on if you have questions or whatever.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but we will kind of be consistently, I think, trying to do this live thing on YouTube. So if you really miss the Take It Down a Notch podcast and want to listen to it 2 days early, we normally record or trying to record, no promises, Tuesday mornings.
Okay.
So um, tune in Tuesday morning or expect it on your morning commute if you, but don't like watch it. Like maybe don't, but you can watch YouTube without watching YouTube. Oh, wait, if you have YouTube Premium, is that a YouTube Premium thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Oh,
no. At
okay.
least on the iPhone, at least you have to have premium to be able to not have your screen on.
Oh,
So
okay. So
Android's
there you go.
I don't know, but
No idea.
there may be a hack on Androids to make it work. But
No
anyway,
idea.
we're on there. The sound is better on the podcast if you watch it on a podcast or listen on a
Definitely.
podcast app than on the YouTube. So I haven't quite figured out video editing yet. I'm struggling. I'm struggling mightily. Um, so
Well,
there's
and it's hard with two different video things that are coming across the world.
yeah,
Um, it'd be hard to do a professional, podcast setup um, with the situation. So
but the
it is
sound.
what we have right
I
now.
think the sound's better today, and that'll help. So,
Probably.
but yeah, I haven't quite figured out how to get. I haven't figured out how to get the constant sound on the video editing software, and then be able to put the different videos with it. I kept
Right.
getting I kept getting switching the sounds back and forth, or getting an echo where I'd be having the sound on there twice. So
Right.
anyway, so I got to watch some more YouTube videos and figure out. So my editing will hopefully get better. It can't get any worse over the next this season. So anyway, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Finish that.